I think that's our cue. Just brief silence. We on. Listen, we're not going to prolong the situation. We got quite a bit to get into tonight. We have to figure out if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are good friends, but are they better enemies? Not to mention the fallout from Elimination Chamber and the last week of our Black History Month spotlight. Trust me, you're not going to miss this. After this,
Houston, we have a problem. Yes!
once you hear that sound, that usually means the show has started, but it doesn't matter because half the time people this early do not tune in, but eventually they will. So it doesn't matter what we really do and say.
You reminded that every week.
No, I just do. It doesn't matter. I just do. But let's get into it right now. We're not even going to prolong the situation. And welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, where you can take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can watch our flagship show, The Wrestling Realm, and other shows anytime on youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. 2 W's, where myself, the real Dwayne Allen, Brian H. Waters, and Brother Hugh has his third explore many topics and try to educate and give fans a different perspective on the many different topics and complex situations in the world of professional wrestling. I am your host, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen. He is your host, Brian H. Waters. He is your host, has the third H to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R to the D. Brother Hugh himself follows on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Wrestling Realm 2 W's. Like, subscribe, and engage in the conversation with us. You can also stream and download all of our audio content on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, where am I at? Spotify and Google Spotify and Google Podcast. Excuse me. You can watch us and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Realm. This is the part where I usually ask you guys to subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/The Wrestling Realm. That's wrestling_realm, patreon.com. Where you can check out shows such as Brian H's Thoughts, Brian Waters' Thoughts. He's writing again. I'm writing again. There's so much going on Patreon. We are really pushing our Patreon as we continue to add more exclusive content. There's so much to come, so much more to get into. Also coming soon to patreon.com, wrestling_realm. Everybody's waiting for this. And guess what, gentlemen? I'm telling you right now on the record, I have my guests booked and ready to go.
Okay.
It's going to get raw. It's going to get uncensored. It's going to be unhinged, unleashed. That's what I do. But coming soon.
I'm excited to find out who the guest is.
Oh, it's a familiar face. It's not anybody special, but once you find out who the guest is, you're going to know exactly why. Like, you're going to know exactly why I said I need you on the show.
Okay. Oh boy, I think I know who it is.
I have no clue.
Now I'm excited. Did Dwayne freeze?
Yeah, can you go?
All right, so yeah, you know what it is. Realness Reacts coming soon. Guess what, y'all? The Wrestling Realm. Oh, that's the wrong one. I was about to get excited. The WrestlingRealm.com is up, live, ready to go. So you can make your purchase. As shout out to some of the homies that already have made purchases and bought some new t-shirts. Thank you very much. Dwayne, are you back? No,
the hot item is the Jack Daddy t-shirt. Get you one.
The Jack Daddy shirt is available. I don't see the graphic for it. But there it is. Yeah, I actually need this graphic. But yeah, that's up and ready to go. You can also get the Raw inspired shirt, so make sure you check that out. I'm excited, Brother Hugh. Make sure they check subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can get all these shows. I'm busy. I've been real busy. So I'm cranking out content. I'm cranking out YouTube shorts because these brothers be saying that good stuff right here on the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. So when they do, guess what? We're gonna put it into a YouTube short. But you still want to be here for the whole show. you know, like the real Dwayne Allen said, catches wrestling figures Wednesday. Make sure you check that out. And guess what? WrestleMania. You can go to WrestleMania by saving $20 off. Guess what? I was talking to somebody at DMs. They said they going to WrestleMania. I said, guess what? If you haven't got your tickets yet, because they're not sold out, they sold a lot, but they're not sold out. You can save $20. And guess I actually checked the code. It works. It works for WrestleMania. So make sure y'all do that. Realness.
Yeah, at least the internet went out before the show really got started. So that's a positive.
Hey man, you know this is the reason why you put the rundown in for a reason, because one of us can pick you up.
There you go. Right. Well, like I said, Bryan Danielson, I'm sure you just went through all the logistics. I missed half of it, but I came back on the back end. So you did a real. Did we get through everything?
Yeah, we did. We got, you know, we told them WrestlingRound.com is up and back and ready to go. So yeah, you know, busy week. And I told him they got to check out the YouTube shorts, and I see Dwayne has froze again. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Okay. It's going to be one of those days. I can feel it. It's okay, though.
But yeah, check out our YouTube shorts. So subscribe. We trying to get, you know, we're trying to get the 1 million views on YouTube shorts. We're trying to hit them 4,000 watch hours.
No, that's definitely a priority. Something we've been plugging at it for a while now, but I'm sure that in due time, you know.
Oh, Pure Ignorance is in the building.
All right, see, we're starting off hot. We got people coming in. So while people start to come in and join us in the chat for this conversation we're going to have today, because it's probably one of the more loaded shows that we've done in a long time, and I promise I'm trying not to keep us here for 2 hours, but you never know. So we're gonna breeze right through this. But we would be remiss if we didn't cover our last week, our Black History Month spotlight, which goes to none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the living legend himself, Booker T.
Can you dig it?
I don't have my sound clip because I think I took it off because of space, but that's okay though. Booker T. Huffman, better known as Booker T, is an American color commentator and an NXT and retired professional wrestler currently. He signed to WWE where he serves as commentator on NXT, and he has done commentary on many different cases. He's also independent promotion owner of Reality of Wrestling. He has been frequently named by his peers and industry commentators as one of the best professional wrestlers of all times. He was voted WWE's greatest world heavyweight champion in 2013. Just a few nuggets about Booker T. He's known for his time in World Championship Wrestling, the WWE, as well as WWF, also in Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, now known as TNA, holding 35 championships between all those organizations. He's one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated wrestler in WCW history, having held 21 titles, including a record 6 WCW television championships, along with being the first African-American title holder. Also a record 11 WCW World Tag Team Championships, 10 as half of the Harlem Heat with his brother Stevie Ray Huffman in WCW, and one with the WWF with Test. Booker T was also the final WCW World Heavyweight Champion and WCW United States Champion under the WCW banner. Booker T is an overall 6-time world champion in professional wrestling, having won 6 WCW World Heavyweight Championships, 5 times the WWE's World Heavyweight Championship once, with his 5th WCW Championship, which occurred in the WWF. Ironically, Booker T became the second African-American to win a world championship in WWF/E, and was also the first to be of non-mixed race. They're referring to The Rock. He's also the winner of the 2006 King of the Ring tournament, 16th Triple Crown champion, and the 8th Grand Slam champion in WWE history. As the 9th WCW Triple Crown champion, Booker T is one of 4 men to achieve both the WCW and WWE Triple Crowns. He has headlined multiple pay-per-views events for the WWF, WWE, WCW, and TNA throughout his career. He is inducted into the Hall of Fame on April 6th, my eyes is failing me, 2013 by his brother Lash, also known as Stevie Ray. Both he and Stevie Ray were also inducted into the 2019 class as Harlem Heat, making Booker T a 2-time Hall of Famer. Well, god freaking dang. Let's give a round of applause for freaking Booker T, this week's and our final week's last Black History Month spotlight. Wow. We just talked about Booker T not too long ago. Isn't that right, brothers?
Yes, yes.
But speaking of brothers, we have a pretty intense show to get tonight. I know you guys saw the rundown. Tonight's show is going to be focused on primarily the main event of the show is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
The gum's starting already.
See, it's
on the scarf. Look at him.
See, it's going on. It's going down already. See, there it is.
Put a spell on your gum pad. My bad.
No, listen. You got to address your
It slipped out. It slipped out.
No, you got it. So tonight we got to sit there and figure out Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That's the premise, the main event of the show. Good friends, but are they better enemies? We got a situation going into WrestleMania, and we're not really sure what direction this is going to go in. It seems as if Sami Zayn has had a change of heart, and now he's trying to make amends with Kevin Owens. Does he deserve it? Does he not deserve it? It doesn't matter, but we'll get into that. But we have a lot to cover tonight, as well as a fallout from Elimination Chamber, some free agency talk, and what else is on this thing? Oh yeah, we have a new IWGP Women's Champion that we need to address. But first, what did you brothers watch this week?
Hold on.
There it is. Hit the thing. That's why I slowed down.
I know, and I was.
There it is. So if you listen to the sound, what did you watch? Because I miss it a lot, and I'm like, let me start putting this inside the rundown so we don't have to miss it. But good brothers, what did you watch this week outside of our normal, regular pro wrestling programming?
It's WrestleMania season, so I watched for a special project to be named later.
Okay.
I've watched probably 6 or 7 different WrestleManias.
Okay.
But one I'll touch on because there's always room for this guy in the show.
9.
Nah, 6.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I'd rather hear about WrestleMania 6 than WrestleMania 9. You keep talking about that same every single time.
Right.
I watched Brutus Beefcake versus Mr. Perfect.
Okay.
With the Genius in the back. Genius. Brutus Beefcake was the first person to beat Mr. Perfect in WWE. He put a trim to the perfect record that night, April 1st, 1990, in the Sky Dome.
Why you like that man so much? The man name is Beefcake.
Wow.
Why are you a hater? You can hate Hogan. What did Beefcake do to you?
Because Beefcake is Hogan's lackey.
Right.
Best friend.
See, there you go.
But yes, I watched that. Actually, also watched Roddy Piper and Adrian Adonis. And guess who came out to help Roddy Piper cut Adrian Adonis' hair? Brutus Beefcake at WrestleMania 3. That was the night he became the Barber Beefcake, because him and Greg the Hammer Valentine were a tag team, but they split. So yeah, I've been in the history books of WrestleMania. Okay, I believe I have my PhD in WrestleMania. Yeah, I said it.
No, listen. If there's anybody that has a PhD in WrestleMania, Brian, it's got to be you. Because
shout out the chalk line.
Oh, there you go. WrestleMania 17, right?
Yes, sir. Shout out to brother Brandon for the tape.
Were you no? I think that might have been a little bit before our time. But I was gonna say, remember we used to go to Sunco's Video and they would have like all the WrestleMania tapes at the time, like lined up.
The legacy joints?
They might have been legacy joints. I don't remember.
The gray.
They was like they all had like a piece of the logo on each one, and I think it was the first 14 or how many it was at the time.
First 14.
Yeah, and it was.
That's when so WrestleMania 6 was the first one I bought. I bought the order, if I remember right, was 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, and then I ended up buying DVDs. Why I bought that order, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's why I had what do you call it? I just went and got the best of WrestleMania.
Yeah, but see, I had that already, and it didn't do it for me. I needed the whole thing.
No, I feel you. Trust me. I made many a trip to Hollywood Video and Suncoast Video. Not Suncoast. Well, Suncoast, of course, but then Blockbuster when we had the opportunities to. And different areas had different wrestling tapes. So you got excited about whatever local Blockbuster or local Hollywood Video you were running into. but Brother Hugh, what did you watch this week, man?
We watched some indie wrestling in DC.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. That was this week. Wow.
Yeah, it was this week, right? You were there, right?
Bro, it's Wellness Week, and I've worked more because I've worked like producing every day. So it's like this stuff running together.
How was the food?
What? Oh, you dirty dog.
Wow.
I'm mad because brother Mimi got me too. She got me in the recap video.
I'm sorry. Brother BH Waters, he left, came back, and had a plate with a glizzy on it.
Oh, okay. See, this is now it's becoming more in context because I remember seeing the video and I was like,
I was just eating. I was hungry.
It was funny because Brian just hunched over trying to make sure like nobody saw him.
Right.
Like he's like this, just like I said, no.
He sent the video on the other side, and I didn't realize.
I said, got you. He was tearing that bad boy up. He must have been real hungry.
How was the show overall?
Lit.
It was cool.
Shout out to Faye Jackson. She back, baby.
Right.
Faye did her thing, man. I was happy because she said she was retired and done. And
she did say that.
Yeah, I've been rocking with Faye for some years. And last year she was like, nah, that's it. But nah, she got in the ring, and her and Darius Carter, they was the main event, and they put on a match. It was very brutal. Darius Carter, if you watch him, he's a great heel. Like, he sits up there and makes people cry. But he also made sure, like, you know what? He didn't hold back. I mean, they got on the bar, and Faye did a splash off the bar. Shout out to Jay Lee Photography. I want to give them their props. They got some photos of me that'll drop on the internet. I'll post on the pages soon. But shout out to them, because like they was able, they was working, great husband-wife photography, video duo, and they got some great shots of just being right there. Like I said, she jumped in, did a splash, and so it was cool. The Wrealm, people was definitely happy to see the Wrealm. I also went to Jimmy's this week to watch Elimination Chamber.
How was Jimmy's?
Oh, it was good. It was downstairs this time. Remember, I think we watched WrestleMania 32 downstairs, if I'm not mistaken.
Whenever I was there, I was upstairs.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay, it was just the different seating. That's what it was. All right, but yeah, we was downstairs, so it was weird. But I was with Corey and Zaire. That's where I sat, and of course, Doc was rolling around, and then we chill with him, Brother Fam, Brother Math, Black John Stud, but I tell you who I got to see. The one and only Lance Anawai and Samu. And it was so good to see those brothers.
They pulled up?
They pulled up. It was a special
nice.
if you could sit at the table with them, Now, I didn't get the great steak. I actually had a steak earlier that I had made. So, I only need 2 steaks in a day. So I had the sampler, which is always good. But it was cool to see them. First time seeing Lance in a while. He goes, "Dang, bro, you lost weight." And I said, "You've been trying. You put your Samoan weight on." But what was so cool was watching like their reactions to like the main event, and so that was real cool. Make sure y'all check out Lance. He's on Drew Willingham's show. So that aired. So make sure y'all check that out on the In and Out. Kayfabe Express.
There you go.
But yeah, it was definitely, the atmosphere was lit. Like wow. I'm sorry. I'm watching WrestleMania 28, and Hugh's favorite wrestler is getting ready to face Randy Orton, and I forgot Chili was there, and I'm blaming Brother Hugh because he didn't make it where we could go meet Chili that night.
Do you have a rebuttal?
I don't.
No. Okay.
No, I don't remember that part, but okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Like I said, just being there for the Elimination Chamber, it was cool. And shout out to man, I forgot their names that fast, but I will say shout out to my homie Diamond, because her son was there, and but it was too late. I almost FaceTimed you, Realness, because she bought her son a Jeff Hardy signed action figure.
Oh wow, okay.
So what does a kid want to do who's about 7 or 8 years old? They want to play with it.
They want to tear into it. Yep.
So Diamond, who was nobody from my high school is on here, but so my senior year, I used to sell sodas, right? Diamond used to sell candy. She was a year younger than me, so she was always a hustler. She was telling her son, like, this is an investment. So of course she goes, "Oh, it's good to see you. I should have known you was gonna be here." She's like, "Can you explain to him why I don't want him to open this?" And I said, "Look, let me tell you." I said, "My best friend, my co-host, will tell you. If I FaceTime him right now, he'll tell you, leave it closed. Your mother is so nice. She already ordered you one that you can play with, the same figure."
Oh yeah, you got the weight, buddy.
Yeah, this one she went.
Let it go.
Said, when you get my age, it's gonna be worth a lot of money. It's got Jeff Hardy's signature. So that was it was pretty cool to see them. And of course, they took a picture with the Wrealm belt. So that was dope. And so the belt was definitely over as always. Shout out to brother Brandon.
There you go. The guy. That's all it's called. We're just gonna call it the belt effect. I don't know. We gotta find a cooler name for it, but it's just that effect. Because like I said, you show up everywhere with yours, Brian H. Brother, he showed up to the wedding. Remember brother who left the country. Well, he left the country, and brother with him. But question: Did you, when you traveled there, Brother Hugh, was that in your bag, or did you carry it at the airport like a mark?
No, I had to put it in the bag. I ain't feel like carrying it around.
Can you imagine you in a suit walking around the airport? Not that you wear a suit to the airport after the wedding, but like you look real debonair. Like this guy's got to be somebody. He's walking around with this title and this suit on.
Yeah, I just thought it was too much. You gotta take your shoes off. You gotta do this, do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
You gotta
come
take it.
on, bro.
That's a lot of metal.
Yo, people
But-
hate traveling with me, and the reason is because you're gonna get stuck because in my bag what I carry because I'm
Everything.
content creating.
Oh,
So
yeah.
You know, everything gotta get scanned. They be
Everything
like,
gotta get
Everything.
you should see Blizz when we was going to WrestleMania 33. He's like, I said, yeah, give us some time. You might as well just go standing over there, and that's when we seen Gilbert.
Wow. Many stories about the Gilbert, but I'm not going to prolong the situation. I'll tell you what I watched this week. I wanted to get into some Cody Rhodes' indie run. I wanted to rewatch that era of who he was. So I think the match that stood out to me the most of what I saw was Cody Rhodes versus hold on. I was watching Northeast Wrestling with Cody Rhodes versus Adam Cole. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And it was a match that I felt like it was very, very underrated. And I was like, yeah, I was just trying to, like, you know, I've had of Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania, you know, moment that he's about to have. I said, let me go back and just watch his run when he left, because I know that was around the time where NXT was kind of taking off. Me and Brandon had this conversation yesterday, and it was an awkward space where WWE was signing a bunch of guys, and Cody Rhodes was on his way out the door. But yeah, so that's what I kind of watched this week. But
I miss Northeast Wrestling. I ain't gonna lie. Like it's not a lot of things I miss in Connecticut. But outside of my church that I was going to,
sure,
man, that wrestling up there, bro, it was lit. Nah, people think about the South, but it's lit up there.
Now it looked like a good wrestling atmosphere. And I've heard a lot of the top guys talk about it. So now Northeast Wrestling is definitely a destination place to be for any top indie performer on the global stage. But let's get into some free agent talk real quick. We have a lot to get into. Like I said, we
starting this off first.
No, yeah, because it's not meant to take a long time, but it's still something we need to address. There's a lot of free agent talk out there in regards to two of the top performers in the industry right now that are potentially free agents. Well, one is a free agent, of course, and one is knocking on the door free agency. I don't know the exact time frame or timeline, but it's still in the conversation. Jay White and Kenny Omega, and I posed the question to you, brother, because I just want to see where your heads are. Where should these guys go? Right. I want you to take into account their careers, where they are right now, where you feel like they should be in the next year and a half, 2 years, and what you as a fan, if you are a fan, you know, hope to get from these performers deciding where they want to go. And we're talking about Jay White. We're talking about Kenny Omega. So anybody can start.
I think Kenny, I would love to see him in WWE.
Tell me why. Why would you prefer Kenny in WWE rather than what he's doing in AEW?
I don't know where else I'm going to get out of him. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, he had a lengthy title reign. I don't see them like going back, him being the AEW World Champion. It could, but you know, it's nobody there that I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to see him work with, right? Where in WWE, I want to see him work with Seth Rollins. I want to see him work with Roman Reigns. I want to see him work with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I want to see him work with AJ Styles again on this feud level, you know, because I if they wrestle, I didn't see it, or if I've seen clips. So it's so many people, not to mention like, yeah, and that's just like the top guys, you know, we ain't talking to Bobby Lashley's or, you know, so I want to see him there. Jay White, I'm not like a big Jay White guy. Like he's just a wrestler. He's there, right? And I respect him. He's good at what he does, but it's nothing about him that makes me say, oh my goodness, all right, I gotta stop what I'm doing to watch a Jay White match. When Kenny Omega was wrestling Okada, when he was wrestling Cody, I had to see those matches. I had to get a hold of those. You know, I had to find my way. So that's where I'm at with that. As far as Kenny Omega, and Jay White, I wouldn't mind seeing him in AEW. You know, if he goes to WWE, that's cool. But if he goes to AEW, it's cool. But Kenny Omega's done it all. He's been the belt collector. Go get. He's where I see Shane McMahon, AJ Styles was, right, or Sting was, where it's like, yo, go get that Vince money, or go get that Trips money, that Tony Khan money. We call it the Tony Khan money.
No, yeah, it's when you put it that way, it makes a lot of sense. At the end of the day, I'm conflicted about these two. I'm very conflicted for a lot of different reasons. Love Jay White, love Kenny Omega. Watched them both in the infancy, not in their rise as they rose up in their careers, right? Jay Lethal is my top guy outside of WWE AEW.
Okay.
I want to see him go to the main stage. We saw him in Impact briefly. We know him from his time in New Japan, and then early stuff he did in Nirvana before he had the Switchblade character. I'm very conflicted about both Kenny Omega and Jay White. I'll start with Jay White. Jay White is someone that I feel like he needs to be featured. He needs to grow. I don't see a lot of room for him to do that right now in WWE.
Okay.
Because of everybody else is kind of like he's kind of behind. Like, where do you fit in? Especially if, say, they're entertaining both and you have to choose one. It's obvious they're going to go with Kenny Omega versus the Jay White, right? I could easily see Kenny Omega going to WWE and then seeing Jay White kind of filling the spot that Kenny Omega had. And I think Jay White can probably do a little bit more now in AEW than he can, than Kenny Omega can, because it's like after a while, like, what do you do with Kenny Omega? I don't really trust the stories that they tell and the feuds that are kind of available. So it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? So, but at the same time, I feel the same way about you when it comes to Kenny Omega. Like, what else is there left for him to do in AEW? Although he's a staple, although you can create new feuds and new stuff like that. But it's like, well, where do you go? He had that lengthy reign. He's back. He's healthy. Where do you go? What haven't we seen? What's the best you can offer me at this point? So I'm conflicted. Either way, I want Jay White to. I think Jay White will be fine anywhere he goes, but I just think he'll make a bigger impact, no pun intended, TNA and AEW initially. But then again, I don't really trust AEW, to be honest with you. Like, he'll be there. He'll be the flavor of the week, and then he'll go right back to he'll be in Orlando filming Dark before you know it.
That's the problem right there. I mean,
brother, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, look at Keith Lee.
Yeah, like who let this is where creative freedom goes wrong. I don't like dragging black people, right? I try to, who told that man to come in there with that white hair like that? Come on, bro. Like, I appreciate being authentic and being yourself, but you still have the image. It's still an entertainment business. You come in to look like a grandpa. I know that's your natural hair, right? But come on now, like, people know you as one thing. If there's no continuity to it, like, why would you do that? Like, that's my concern with the Young Bucks, right? The Young Bucks kind of change their whole look, image, and style. So when they go to WWE, I'm like, so what do y'all do? Do you guys go back to your original style that people kind of globally recognize you as the tassels and that old school Hardy looking look before they got what Michael Hayes became Team Extreme? It's like, man, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because in the Triple H era, he's a little more lenient than Vince. Vince like, no, you need to be recognized with the way people know you from. It's like Sting. Sting wore a T-shirt and Joker paint gimmick in TNA his whole last run. One of his most fun runs that he had in TNA. But by the time he got to the WWE, he's like, no, I need to go back to being what people recognize me as. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Which was that version of Sting. It was straightforward. It was Sting, not all the other incarnations of Sting that we saw, in his end of TNA run. So I feel the same way about Jay White and Kenny Omega. I don't really trust AEW, although I think there's more opportunities. But I don't know, man. I kind of like Jay White in New Japan, but he's probably stuck there too. He's probably sitting there like, man, I got nothing else left to do here either. And there's not many heavy hitters left that these new dance partners. But brother, here, you have a take on this free agent?
Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say Kenny Omega. It seems like he's done everything worldwide so far.
Yeah.
So what else is everywhere? There for, right, literally, like, what else is there for him to do besides conquer WWE, hit WrestleMania? I'm not saying that's always the end all be all once you reach the wrestling, top notch wrestling industry. But that's it as far as Omega. Put him in some nice storylines, get you some fantasy matchups with some of the WWE superstars, and as far as Jay White, I feel the same thing. I want him in WWE, but I feel like there's no room for him right now.
Yeah, just
and then to build him properly anyway.
You're right. Treat him like he's a big deal.
Right, that he is. And I don't want him to just fall under the radar again. But then same thing with AEW. It's like, yeah, like you said, he's the flavor of the week. And then next thing you know, he's chilling. Like,
he was there briefly.
Yeah, but what did it really do with him?
They had that fatal 4-way match at Forbidden Door, which I thought was great. No, I enjoyed that, but that was like I don't know, man. He pops up, get a couple of backstage segments.
That
you see what I'm saying? Like it's just it's random to me with AEW.
Yeah,
so it's like I don't.
And he was popping up. He was popping up at Impact randomly, doing the same thing, just popping up with the Good Brothers and Chris Bay and Chase Owens for like a second, and then going back to. It's like there's no continuity to what he was doing, and it's like, and they're like, well, Jay White, you're the only one that seems to be going through every forbidden door. He's like, well, I'm Jay White, I can do whatever I want to do, but he's never any one place in front of the American audience where he's established enough where we know who the heck Jay White is. Because even right now, like I know who he is because I follow Jay White, but you like he's not the 25%. Like that's what I am.
That's what I said. Like I haven't been able to get invested in it.
If he comes to the States, they got to build him. They got to show the people who Jay White is. They got to show them who the Switchblade is, which I have no doubt that they can do. But that's going to take time. Like whose spot do you take away from at this point? Who do you have? Like Shinsuke still hadn't come back. Bobby Roode still hadn't made his return. Like these are things that are in the works. We know that, right? So
let me ask you this:
yes, AJ still haven't come back.
AJ's going to be back in 4 to 5 months. You know, however long it's going to be.
The Good Brothers, where are they?
Like the Good Brothers,
they're chilling.
They waiting for this OC thing to jump off again.
And that's another thing right there. Like,
sorry,
if you bring those two guys here, that's the whole Bullet Club basically.
Yeah,
minus the Young Bucks and who else? Whoever's over in New Japan. You see what I'm saying? So
Bad Luck Fale and Tama Tonga.
And there's storylines to be told.
Yeah, Finn there too.
Yep, Cody,
yeah.
Like Adam Cole. Storylines to be told.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this about Jay White, right?
I think you sold me, brother Hugh. I was on the fence, but I think you sold me on it. Go ahead.
Is he better? I understand what I'm about to say. I know this is a different NXT than what we saw in 2016. But if you want to sell tickets, you want to sell advertising, is Jay White too good for NXT?
Yes.
Okay. So you wouldn't put him down there and let him cook. Okay.
And the crazy part is that would have been the perfect situation for him.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Like in older NXT, it'd have been perfect. I'd have been like, yeah, easily go to NXT. They can, you know what I mean? They did it with Karrion Kross. They did it with Adam Cole. It's like because they just did it the right way, but like all their energy is to the main roster now. Like the NXT now, just once again, they have the same problem AEW has. There's no legitimate dance partners. When NXT became so as popular as it was about the possibilities of what the performers were able to do, and they were putting on main event level matches because they were main event level talent. While they had to wait their turn in developmental, supposedly, to compare to where the main roster was. But now that whole energy is put towards the main roster. That NXT roster is running the show now. You know what I mean? Mixed in with your vets like the Sheamuses, and you know they found a way to incorporate everybody. So it's like he goes to NXT, he's going to be overly dominant. Like who wants to? Okay, so think about it. The fans are turning on Braun Breaker. Jay White's a bad guy. He's not a good guy. They already got one anti-hero, which is Seth Rollins. Not really meant to be a good guy, kind of a bad guy, but people like him, and they're kind of going with it, right?
Yeah.
You send Jay White to NXT, and they already turned on Braun Breaker. What's going to happen? First of all, people are going to be happy to see Jay White in WWE. He's supposed to be a bad guy, and like you think anybody cares about it? Now, if he's okay with it, I'm okay with it. If he's like, no, let me go to NXT and get it over, and let me, I'm okay with that too. But I think he's just too good for NXT at this point. Old NXT, perfect. Yeah,
I was thinking that, but I wanted to just clarify. You know,
he's too big for it.
You know, and Dylan is saying unless you do Jay Lee versus Dragon Lee on a one-off exhibition introduced on NXT, then bring up Jay White.
Well, that's the thing with like guys like Dragon Lee is like they never really, he hadn't really gotten started yet. You know what I mean? Because like Dragon Lee wasn't really like a main event performer everywhere. Like Jay White was a IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. You know what I mean? United States Champion, Intercontinental Champion. Like you know what I mean? He's well accomplished. Like Dragon Lee has been around the world doing stuff, but he hadn't got that run yet. It was the same way with Andrade. He was La Sombra. Like he was doing this thing,
but
you know, he was once again another IWGP Intercontinental Champion. But it's just like as La Sombra, he had a run, but then when they created Andrade, they knew who he was, but he got a fresh start at everything. You know what I mean? So I think that's the conflict a lot of times when it comes to free agency, and it's like it's I don't know what to do. Like I said, I love to see him kind of be the man in AEW because I think they need him more than anybody. But at the same time, no. But for how long is that really going to last? You know what I mean?
The champion is mid.
Who's the IWGP champion right now? It's MJF, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll okay, so we'll get into that because that's coming up later in the show. But that's enough about free agency talk. We got to move forward. We've been talking for 35 minutes about this. We're starting off hot. Mercedes Mone versus Kairi Sane at New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle at the Valley.
What a freaking match.
We have a new IWGP Women's Champion. Okay, I'm asking you some questions because I'm telling you, I'm building up to this eventual show that I'm going to do. And it's probably going to piss a lot of people off. And that's okay. It's because we need to have these real conversations. And it doesn't get any realer than a real Dwayne Allen.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Oh, trust me. If you're looking for a reason, this is going to be good enough of a reason. Mercedes goes over. She's new IWGP Women's Champion. Relatively new title. Like I said, we know the incorporation with Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling. And we have Mercedes Mone.
Mm-hmm.
Right move, wrong move. Now, I want you to tell me, is it the right move, the wrong move? And then you tell me as a fan, is it the right move, wrong move? So you have to answer the question twice. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's the same for both, by all means, just explain yourself. I like to hear it, and I'm sure
it is
the right move. Go ahead. Okay, tell me how.
Because
wait, look. You see, look, Dylan Matthews is already hot. Look at that.
Because
look at this. Hold on. Yeah, I'm putting it up. This is what Reynolds' reaction is going to be about, because he immediately said like this. That's me, because we're being real right now. Like, come on now. Does he not have a point? I'm not saying if he does or not, but I'm saying it's still a valid argument to make, right?
Yeah.
It's a valid argument.
Now, Brian H, go ahead. Do your thing.
But look at what she did. She trended. You feel me?
That's it.
we in the world of social media numbers. You look at this article that just went out. WWE is making a huge push for their social media, and that is a key. That is a key in their sales pitch, because they have more YouTube subscribers at 92 million, more than the NBA, the NFL. So that is a huge part. More people, because she has that title. Like, sure, okay, if she loses and it's a one-off, are they gonna come back? But because she has that title, no matter what, she's going to defend it. And I know it's a thing. It's the wrestling business. You don't trust handshake agreements. You don't do that.
Okay.
You're taking a risk. I get that. But you look at what she has done, and exactly, Logan Paul, you know what I mean? But you look at what she's done, and you look at her showing up. She sold out the place.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, how many people remember it was, no, let me be careful. The 25%, and maybe even up the ante, will say, okay, yeah, we want to see Okada, Tanahashi, right? We've seen it before.
Sure.
The loyalists of the Sasha crew, who are now becoming whatever she's going to call Mercedes Mone fans, they came over. So, yeah, I think it was the right move. And as a fan, man,
how many fans came over? Don't answer that question. I just want to put that in your ear. Go ahead.
Well, you said don't answer.
No, I said don't answer. I just want you to think about it. You said the fans came over because I'm
to watch the product. I know where you're going.
I'm alluding to some things, but you said that fans came over. I'm like, well, how many fans came over? But go ahead. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. don't answer it. Go ahead.
There it is. But I thought Brother Hugh was going.
I thought you was about to say something. I was
going to say,
as a fan,
the match 5 stars. Now, mind you, let me preface this. I stayed up, you know, because I'm like, all right, this is going to be what we're going to talk about all week, right?
He gonna give us a rundown of his life again, everybody.
Yeah, so I came home from Jimmy's. I sat down and I waited, But no, I stayed up. The match didn't air till like 2 something, right? It had me hooked. Now, mind you, I've watched a lot of wrestling, no doubt about it. Everybody knows that. So, you know how they say, you know, sometimes I can sit there, I'll take you back years ago, Cody and Kenny Omega waited up till like past midnight for that match, right? And it still wasn't, I fell asleep. Right. This one, I didn't fall asleep.
Sure. Okay.
And to see her kind of, you know, work a different style, and you know, just had that strong style and everything. And Kyrie, oh my goodness, she showed like, look, y'all gonna pay attention to me too.
You can't go wrong with her, bro.
It's the pirate princess.
She exactly, and she reminded people of that because people may have forgotten. So yeah,
sure, at least the American audience, of course.
Yeah, because everything was about Mercedes, which we understand. You know, and especially they was in on American soil. So it's
San Jose,
predominantly
right?
yeah, San
Yep.
Jose American fans. Shout out to Bailey who was there with a mask on, so she could just enjoy her bestie. So overall, yeah, it was a great match. So as a fan, I liked it. From somebody who sits back and watches wrestling, as a wrestling content creator, I liked it, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen now.
Brother Hugh, your 2 cents, sir.
Man.
And then for the people that are waiting, just in case before you sign off, I'm going to say something. Okay, so just in case anybody's concerned about what I'm going to say, when Brother Hugh's done, I'm going to speak my piece on it. Go ahead.
All right. Well, as a wrestling fan, basically, like the match was crazy. I couldn't even imagine seeing Mercedes losing her first match.
Okay.
So I guess this is sliding more into the business aspect of me, of things, but it just wouldn't have made sense. I don't care if you was in Japan. I don't care if you was here on American soil. It just doesn't make sense. You have a worldwide superstar in Mercedes Sasha Banks / and it's like, why would you want her to lose and not bring the extra promotion to your product? I don't care if she holds the belt for one day. That's a great way to showcase Kari Zane. It's a great way to showcase your product in general. Bring more money in. Showcase the belt. Shout out to Brandon Guy.
The guy.
Beautiful. The guy. Beautiful belt, by the way. And yeah, I mean, it's a win-win. It's a win-win for me. So that's it.
Here's what I'll say. First and foremost, the match was absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, it was.
It was a thing of beauty. I've always been, like I said, I'm not the biggest like women's wrestling fan because I don't like the separation of the two. You know what I mean? I don't like the wrestling and women's wrestling. Like, I don't like that. If you're good at wrestling, I think that should be the only thing by what you're judged by. But that's my personal preference, right? So a good wrestling match is a good wrestling match. And I've always been a fan of Kari Zane since I got a chance to see her in NXT and, just everything else she was doing in WWE. And of course, Mercedes Mone is, she's always been who she is. The way that they did it falls completely in line with what New Japan has always done. You know what I mean? New Japan has never been shy about putting the title on the biggest draw. Like AJ Styles debuted and he won the title the same night. You know what I mean? It's not out of the ordinary that these things happen. And I like the fact that they're not shy about doing that with the women as well. So it makes sense. And this is I don't think this is the last time they will dance, but what the preview about Realness Reacts when it comes to Mercedes Mone versus Sasha Banks. Here's what I will be dissecting on that show. And I need the real, I need the legit 25%ers to come and pay attention to what the heck I'm going to be talking about. It's because, Brian, as you said something, you said the fans came over to see her. And I'm curious to say, okay, well, what portion of the fans came over to see her? Right? She drew money for the San Jose show, but the San Jose show wasn't, a 10,000 square foot venue sellout. Did she draw money for the event? I'm sure she did. Like she's a new familiar face, and everyone knows who the heck she is. She's phenomenal. But she drew a lot more money in WWE. Like Sasha Banks is one of the highest drawing performers in WWE history. Now you say, okay, well, what does that mean, Rose? What's the point of that? Well, I'm saying, well, god dang, with the machine in front of the big audience, she captured both audiences, right? Us, the 25%, and 75%, which is the general public. And I feel like a lot of people fell in love in regards to the general public with Sasha Banks, right? Which is not easy to do for any performer to do. It's to get the mainstream wrestling audience behind you. Like that's drawing money, right? What we're going to dissect on that show is, can she do that on that level for New Japan Pro Wrestling in their women's division? That's what we're going to really dive into, because it's like, okay, cool. Was it you that drew the money, or was it you and the machine? So now we got to compare and contrast. Say, okay, well, cool. If you're the same person and your talent hasn't changed one bit, can you bring that same level, like, of money to New Japan and establish a whole new revolution in women's wrestling in that side of the country while bringing this side of the country to that dance? Because that's what New Japan has done. Once they got this new president, they've made it very clear we need to make our indention in the United States. That's what we need to see.
So,
right?
No, go ahead.
No, so that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, this is I love. Like I say, it falls in line. Like the move was, of course, it's the right move. It fell in line with what New Japan does. But like I said, a preview to Riddle's reactions, like, yo, we're gonna go a little bit deeper than that. Like, we're gonna see, can she do this? It's not easy to do, right? It's not easy to do. AJ Styles bought American Eyes to the Bullet Club. Fight me, anybody. Come see me. You're not gonna tell me you're a Bullet Club fan. I'm talking mainstream audience. There's no way in the world that the Bullet Club T-shirt was the hottest selling T-shirt outside of WWE. Why? It wasn't because Finn was there. Nobody was worried about Finn, and nobody's worried about Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. AJ Styles. Everybody wanted to know what the heck AJ Styles was going to do when he left TNA. Where are you going to go? We know you're not going to WWE because they weren't even looking at him at the time. Or nobody imagined him going to WWE. He went to New Japan and he made the Bullet Club the hottest thing in professional wrestling. And I'm talking about with WWE. Those Bullet Club numbers, and we talking New Japan, was in competition with WWE numbers. That's not easy to do. One individual did that. So now we're going to see, can Mercedes Mone have that same effect? Because think about it. She's trying to do something revolutionary. New Japan has never had a women's division.
So, okay. I'm curious because you're talking from WWE to New Japan, not Impact to New Japan.
Nope.
Who would you say has anybody been able to do that? Similar?
Well, see, that's the conflict. Are we discussing men versus women, or are we just talking about in general?
We're talking bodies in general, right? People in general.
AJ Styles.
But no, all right, let's say WWE though, because the
WWE left from WWE to
anywhere else. Or anywhere
else. Well, see, that's the thing though. AJ Styles went from a smaller audience and created a bigger audience, right? Mercedes Mone is going from a bigger audience where people first fell in love with her. So the main audience felt like we didn't know who she was until she got out there. Let's be real. Like the I think 15% of the 25% knew who she was before she was Sasha Banks. You know what I mean? Because who was she before Sasha Banks? Go ahead.
Mercedes KV.
Right, exactly. Was Mercedes KV a superstar?
No, right. She wasn't. I'm trying to think who was a superstar on it. She wasn't a Mercedes Martinez.
Right, absolutely right. So she didn't make a name for herself before she became a megastar in WWE as Sasha Banks, the mainstream audience. And I'm like, man, does she have the drawing power to take that mainstream audience? I'm talking males, females, all ages, and get them to watch what she's doing in Japan? Because we have to dissect how much of it was the machine, how much was it her. We're going to have to dive into it. We're going to figure out one way or another. Was it the talent? Or was it the machine? Or maybe it was a strange combination of the two. But I'm glad that she won, because now we're going to see, like, okay, let's see where this goes.
You said now I can really do this show.
Now let's see where this goes, because now it's going to be a difficult conference. Because guess what? I'm gonna bring the numbers out. Like we're gonna talk the math, not what you feel. I appreciate your feelings about it. I love her too. Don't get me wrong. I love her by all means. I love her. You know what I'm saying? Because she's one of the greatest. I think she's one of the greatest black superstars of all time. But with that being said, we have a stigma about our culture where you got to be 10 times better than your constituents, which is why she left in the first place. Boom, drop the mic.
And imagine how great she's going to be when, like, the people actually realize, like, she can actually wrestle in New Japan. Yeah. Like her style can adapt to that New Japan audience.
Bro, she is, first of all, I love what she does in Japan before she does what she's done. I've loved that match by itself. Was like, yo, this is way better, because she doesn't perform the same way with every dance partner in WWE the way she just did with Kairi Sane.
No,
like we see that performance a lot.
She wrestles, like she gets dirty.
I was not surprised one bit when I saw her in the ring. I said, oh yeah, like I hope y'all did not expect not to see what I saw from her.
Oh yeah, she making superstar status now.
Yeah.
If she play her cards right, she's making superstar status.
I'm telling you,
she'll take that belt and go worldwide with it.
She has a chance to do something. She has a chance to do something really special. But
guess
I'm
when
curious.
she dropped that belt, watch WWE come running back.
Well, see that Triple H has kind of already made it clear. Like, man, I understand what you're doing, all the kind of stuff. But
he texted her.
Yeah, I mean, we know that. But my question is, will that mainstream audience accept her as Mercedes Mone? They might just want Sasha Banks. We love her. We go if she calls herself Brittany Banana Head, we're gonna love her. That's because we're the 25%. We really don't count. We don't make them any money. We don't make the WWE any money. That's not what they're built on, right? They're looking for WWE competitive style, drawing numbers, power, money, etc. And they're saying, we believe you're the woman that can do that for this division. That's what they're saying. But can she bring that audience that fell in love with her the first time as Sasha Banks and say, no, this is who I am now. Come with me. I'm saying that's what we're gonna have to break down. That's why I'm telling you, that's what Riddler's reaction is going to be, because I'm like, the WWE audience is fickle. Hold on.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting one to see. I can't wait till Realness reacts. I will leave it at that.
It's gonna be cringy, and I want people to cringe because I'm gonna force people to look at the truth. But we got to move on. Daniel Bryan versus MJF at AEW Revolution 60-minute Iron Man match. Got a little AEW action going on here, right? Wait a minute, hold on. Before we go, Brother Brandon has something to say. Look at that. This is the problem with the mainstream audience. Nobody knows. What does it say?
Nobody knows Sasha Banks, not like Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Bryan.
Well, see, this is why we're having a conversation. Like, this is something new. This is uncharted territory. That's what I'm telling you. That's the show's going to be one of those shows. It's uncharted territory. And if you have a point, show me the evidence. That's all I'll say. But yeah, Daniel Bryan versus MJF. Finally, we finally got a dance partner for MJF, Maxwell J. Friedman. That anybody, like, it's like beating a dead horse. I've said it over and over again. You guys know how I feel about the situation, right? AEW, the dance partners, there's always a thing for me. Like, bro, like, give me somebody that I can actually care about both parties. Good guy or bad guy. What difference does it make? It doesn't matter. Like, just tell me who's who. And I feel like we got one with Daniel Bryan. I think we probably would have had one sooner with Adam Cole. He's out for injury, whatever you want to call it. With him trying to recover from his from his concussion and stuff like that. But how do you brothers feel about Daniel Bryan versus MJF? Is this what MJF needs to finally prove that he can hang with the best of the best? I mean, he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. He has an opportunity to go 60 minutes with one of the greatest of all time. One of the GOATs himself, in Daniel Bryan. And I think this has to be, for me, it has to be a coming out party for MJF in regards to what he can do in the ring. We know he can entertain. We know he can talk. We know he can carry things. And I don't mind him as champion. But I just think the AEW is really, really big. Like if this is Impact, years ago, MJF would be probably I don't want to say a bigger star than what he is, but he'd probably be just on the same level as he is now. You know what I mean? But AEW is a big company and they have big aspirations. And it's like, well, this is the guy that's supposed to draw you money and it's supposed to be biggest villain in the company. And now we have a match with him and Daniel Bryan. I'm nervous for the match because after what I saw Daniel Bryan and Roosh, I was like, Daniel Bryan, come on now. Like, I know you're clear from this concussion thing, but stop taking so many hits to the head. Stop bleeding. But, he got through that match. Excellent match, by the way. But now we have Daniel Bryan versus MJF. Is anybody excited? Do you guys even care? What's the deal? Brian Nation ain't buying it. And that's your favorite wrestler.
It is, but at this point, man, this is where I guess I have to like reprogram myself because I'm used to like the payoff would have been sooner. But even the build up, like even when I know AEW has a lengthy amount between championship matches, but this build up, it's just not for me. Like I don't like the whole he got to go on this excursion.
He just flat out said, "Nah, bro, it's not for me."
Yeah, and that's the best way to say it. And Dylan said it right. Can we please stop this? Free agent in 2024. MJF already signed an AEW contract. Come on now, and that's what I feel. But at this point, it's like you already got the title. You don't need to play that, And I was big on MJF winning the championship, but
okay,
this is one of those things where it's like what you said was right before him working with people, because I'm sorry, I need to see the champion fight at least, even if he ain't defending the championship. I need to see him do something. I need to feel like he's the most important person on the show, and I don't. I need to be at a point where I say I can't miss what MJF is going to do. That's how I felt when Roman Reigns became the WWE Universal Champion after the pandemic in 2020. I couldn't wait because I was like, okay, what is he going to say? What is this?
Right. I don't know, man. But brother Hugh, what do you think? You think MJF versus Daniel Bryan is going to be worth the hype? Is this what MJF needs to take his game to the next level as AEW champion? 60-minute Iron Man match. I mean, if he proves that he can hang in the ring with Daniel Bryan for 60 minutes, shouldn't that say something about him?
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I don't even care. But
dang, he just another.
But it's like
don't even care, huh?
MJF has been like irrelevant to me since he made his return, and that whole Punk situation went down. Like, it was unfortunate that fight.
Sure, that was
overshadowed, right?
Yeah,
and
you kind of look like MJF right now with that Burberry scarf right
here. That's right.
Like you're giving off MJF vibes right now. I'm just saying.
Yes, sir.
And
MJF, my man. I like him, but I can't remember the last time I seen him wrestle.
I mean,
it's good to see him wrestle, possibly, maybe.
He's going. Are you going to be able to sit there and watch him wrestle for 60 minutes? Or is Daniel Bryan gonna have a match by himself? Oh man!
I mean,
Daniel Bryan can.
I can give you a good 30.
You're not gonna do 60?
Nah.
I watched Roderick Strong and Jay Lethal go 72 minutes.
Yeah.
He was hooked.
And I was like,
there, but I know he was hooked.
I was like I was in my seat, out of my seat, but I was like,
amazing, bro.
Yeah, like it was like. He probably said, "Bro, we just got a whole 72-minute match for $20." I was like, "You got that right. That's true." So I don't know, man.
But I think he does need to fight somebody like Daniel Bryan, or my bad, whatever his name is.
Bryan Danielson. Daniel Bryan. I'm not calling him nothing but Daniel Bryan.
All right, Daniel Bryan. He needs to fight somebody like that. It's just
calling him Bryan Danielson. It's
right,
Bryan.
Right. He's at the top of the business right now. He's one of the most respected superstars that they have. I really don't care for the whole storyline of how he got there and this and that and what have you, like Brian said. But the thing is he's there. Now let's see what's going on. Let's see who's going to deliver.
And I think that's
and hopefully MJF delivers.
And I think that's the thing. We're gonna fight. We're gonna see if he can live up.
Raj, just what a why.
Wow, he just can't get it. That's okay. No, it's all right. It's one of those things that we're gonna really try to figure out. Like, okay, man, this is it. You 60 minutes in the ring with Daniel Bryan. Let's see if you can make it happen for yourself. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's a match that I want to see.
I'm gonna watch the match. I might go to Jimmy's. We'll see.
I don't want to sit through Jimmy's for that whole pay-per-view. That's the problem.
I was about to say,
like, bro, is there gonna be bingo? If there's bingo, something going on there, like something I can do before that match.
Bro, yeah, it's fun. It's fun hanging with the homies.
Wait a minute.
Hours.
I might bring I would have to bring my computer with me. Like y'all got Wi-Fi, right? Because I can do something else.
Uncle Raj usually do.
You might have to shoot a whole show or something in there.
I think I might do something like because I see my guy Christian came back the other day to keep beefing with freaking Jungle Boy. Like, come on,
man. He hit him with a concerto. Jungle Jack Perry. No, Krista B calls him Jungle Man. Jungle Man Perry.
Man, look, he's Jungle Boy. You shouldn't introduce me as Jungle Boy. As Mama called him Jungle Boy, I'm gonna call him Jungle Boy.
See, I was calling him Jungle Man. I was calling him Jack Perry just on the strength of that last presser. I was like, oh, he's finally growing up. The one after Full Gear.
Yeah, I'm good.
He's still gonna be Mowgli to me. So,
yo, hold on real quick. WrestleMania 28 is about to be the match of what they said was the match of the night. The Hell in a Cell match, and I'm going back in time when Shawn Michaels came out and he was dancing.
Wow. Like a little girl. Yeah.
I can't say that I wouldn't be one of those people dancing like that. Like I'm sitting there like, yep, I feel a little bit of attack because I'd probably be out there just like,
Man, how about Shawn Michaels, man? The work he's doing on NXT. I am
I'm
a fan.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not all impressed.
What?
I'm just not.
You're not impressed with producer Shawn?
I'm not all that impressed. I'm really not.
It's because
I'm really
okay.
not.
You
I'm
know
just
what?
not.
I guess because for me, I understand why you wouldn't be, right?
Sure.
I know we'll never get the black and gold back, but considering that mess we got last year.
Yeah, that I yeah, 100%.
So
here's the magic that I'm missing from NXT. I appreciate Shawn Michaels as Booker Shawn, but Triple H took a bunch of no names, a bunch of young upstart indie darlings, and he made them superstars. Dusty Rhodes, William Regal, all the hands, Terry Taylor, all the hands in that. Like I'm not saying it's just on one person, and I'm not saying like Shawn. I'm just saying Shawn as in he represents the new era of what they're doing in NXT right now. I've yet to get that vibe from Shawn Michaels. Now it is early because NXT didn't start off hot. Like we watched Becky Lynch come out skipping and stuff. We watched Charlotte Flair try to be a hottie and not, you know what I mean, not really be herself.
That's hard to believe now.
Yeah, like she was coming out with, you know, the beautiful people, you know, rip off thing that she was doing with Summer Rae and Sasha Banks. And, you know, we watched Bayley hugging everybody and Emma coming out, you know, with her bubbles and her dancing. So it's not like it took off immediately. I'm just saying I'm just not there. Like I've seen a lot of wrestling. It's hard to capture me, not for the entire show. And I'm being unbiased because of the same critique that I have about AEW and their programming as a whole is the same critique that I have about NXT and their program. Like I like spots of it, but you can't get me to sit down for a whole show. And there was a time, and even NXT in its heyday, I didn't always sit through every show. You know what I mean? Like
that makes a lot of sense. You know, I feel like if we go back in quarters, right? Let's say like last year was FCW. I feel like we're at the point where we're right after they wasn't Nexus no more. You know, we still got ways to go. They have some intriguing storylines that I'm interested in. First of all, in my Stephen A. Smith voice, that Kiana James is something special.
No doubt.
But you got the you know, you have those stories. You have obviously the world title, which, you know, to me is still secondary because I care about other stuff. I'm interested obviously in Mellow Hayes. I'm interested in the women's division as far as like Miko Satomura and Roxanne. But the tag team division, they got me because the problem with that was I wasn't as familiar with the NXT UK product.
Sure.
So a lot of that I had to like, okay, now I'm understanding it. So
got it. Yeah.
It's a lot of the fact they're going outside is fun, but I also look at it like too, I got introduced to so many new people at once where the first NXT, I knew a lot of the people because of the indies.
Okay. So a question. Who's the North American champion right now?
Oh,
Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it. Yeah. So
what was that?
That's my guy. You're not gonna talk. That's my guy. That's my guy.
I have no problem with Wesley, but it's just like okay, like the first it was Ricochet, it was EC3, it was Adam Cole. Like, you know, they competed for that title, right? Now it's like, okay, well, who's Wesley's biggest rival? Who's chasing him down for that title?
That was the thing because I
don't even know who it is now.
The title.
You see what I'm saying though? Like, this is what I'm saying to you. Like when Keith Lee and Adam Cole, come on now, like, and I do get it. They were more veterans that just happened to be new to the WWE audience versus these you know, this talent that is all like fresh faces, and it takes a while. I understand, I respect that, but I'm just waiting for that moment to happen because at one point in time, the people that we knew and enjoyed, the Bo Dallases, the Big E's, they were all fresh faces. They weren't like indie darlings, you know what I mean? Sami Zayn technically was a completely different character from what we knew him as. He was nothing like what we knew. He was a completely different guy. Like, you know, how many people knew about Johnny Gargano? You know what I mean? If you're a West Coast person or you're part of that 25%, because I was an indie guy and I didn't know anything about Johnny G until he got to WWE, and they were like, oh, nah, he was in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. I wasn't too familiar with PWG.
Yeah, I saw a lot of it on Twitter. Like a lot of his
content. I recognized the arena when I saw it, the building they use, and you see the Bucks and Kevin Owens. Like, okay, this is that PWG out California, but that was the extent of it, you know. But they made me care about Bayley. Go ahead.
No, so he didn't come over East Coast too much.
Nah, because so this is where I'm at when I'm trying to figure these things out. And this is like I said, that's Shawn Michaels is the wrestler's great, the booker. It's not him.
Wow.
I'm just waiting.
What do we have here? The real Dwayne Allen mid on Shawn Michaels and me high on Shawn Michaels. What is in the 2023 is this?
And if you notice, Shawn Michaels is kind of unceremoniously getting a Stone Cold Stunner from, WrestleMania 14. WrestleMania 14 actually, and that's the crazy part because it's just like I'd be unbiased, like I'd be a WWE guy if I was.
That's the WrestleMania 14 action figure.
Yes, it is. That's WrestleMania 14.
Because from this, like the angle, it looks like he has a shirt on.
He has his metal piece that he walked out there, the entrance.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he do okay.
Yeah. So if you go back, you watch WrestleMania 14, you see Shawn Michaels coming to the ring.
This is what I need.
And he gives the middle finger, and he has like this metal vest piece he has on. That's kind of
yeah. I remember when they had Chris Warren play America the Beautiful that day.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but yep,
that was the worst one.
America for the stars.
It was funny. Dave was like, "Let's feel patriotic." Brian, roll the clip. But here's what I need before 2025. Talk about this bidding war in 2024. Before 2025, I need the real Dwayne Allen to walk through a superstore, whether it's the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, preferably WrestleMania.
I need to, because the way they're talking about the breaking records, they broke the record at Elimination Chamber. We'll get to that in a second. Like, how the heck you break a freaking you break another merchandise record? Like, so this is a problem. Like, you guys, like at the Royal Rumble, and Triple H was like, yeah, we're not bringing that merchandise to the shows, and I was like, that's what we're doing now. So I can only imagine.
Really said that, and I was sitting there like, no, you brought the wrong one, because the shirts that the people were wearing at that the employees look better than the shirts that was on the.
Oh wow!
I was telling Corey that Saturday. I said, bro, the shirts that I asked the lady when I got in line, I said, is that shirt available? She's like, nah, this is what they gave us to wear. I said, this look better than the Royal Rumble shirt that they had. Like, wow. What I had, I felt was like, okay, this is the best it's gonna get.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, they got your money.
They couldn't get the code. They couldn't keep the Cody shirts on the shelf. They didn't have a lot of women's merch, but they couldn't keep the Becky or Cody or Bianca shirts on the shelf.
Ooh, that's big money, and so you can imagine what the WrestleMania Superstore is most likely going to look like, especially
in LA.
Knowing, first of all, it's a lot of money on the West Coast. Knowing that
Fries is in the building, he ain't been in here in a while.
knowing that it's like, yo, they've got all this stuff going on, but I think we're just about at full capacity. You got a lot of eyes on the product right now. Why do people tune in around like 11:45? It's weird, East Coast time. Anyway,
we're gonna start the show later,
right? And I was like, we got to start the show early just so we can get to this point later. But this is that we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the show. Elimination Chamber fallout. Let's
stop it, Dylan.
Let's tackle this. She was losing. Okay. Oh wow.
We'll get in that in a later week, I'm sure.
How'd you guys enjoy Elimination Chamber, Brian? You were there. No,
I wasn't.
I don't know why. I keep like it's almost like routine. It's like
I'll be at Mania though.
All right.
Okay, you'll be at Mania. It's almost routine. Like, no, you were there. No, shoot, he wasn't. But what did you guys think about Elimination Chamber as a pay-per-view as a whole? And just tell me some of your favorite moments and highlights or matches, and or all three. Brother,
incredible.
Go ahead, Brandon. So go ahead, jump into it.
Incredible show overall. I thought it delivered. I thought it was they always talk, lately, because it wasn't always this way, folks. If you're new to wrestling, we actually used to enjoy the pay-per-view in between WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, but they would say, oh, this one did not feel like a filler pay-per-view. I thought the crowd was hot for Sami, exactly what you wanted. The both chamber matches, Montez Ford did his thing. Even Triple H admitted that he left him out of the his post presser when he named how all the people he saw like star making performances. And I thought that was the thing about this chamber, where I felt all 12 people that night who was in the Elimination Chamber did something and brought something special. Even Edge and Beth Phoenix, and y'all know, like, as big of an Edge fan I was, I haven't been lately, but I like Edge with Beth. This is my favorite version.
I got to play with Edge when he cut his hair.
Yeah, that's the thing. But and then obviously delivered. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a great show.
Okay,
I was hyped.
No, that's dope. What about you, brother Hugh? Overall,
It was an okay show overall. I was kind of let down by the ending. Like I was expecting more drama, more. I was expecting, like y'all said, I was expecting to cry. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be more emotionally involved in the outcome. But I mean, it was okay for what it was.
Well, let's
Everything else was just kind of just predictable. Whatever. All right,
well let's
cool. Good matches, good performances, but all right,
like
whatever.
why do you sound so disappointed? Like, they were good matches, they're good.
I
I
mean,
expected that. Like, why is that bad? Like,
it's what I expected. Like, all right,
okay,
the women's whatever match that was cool. Like you expect your spots. You already knew who was gonna win. Oscar. Who else is gonna win? Carmella. You know,
you just taking shots.
like come on, bro. Like, let's be real. The
Okay,
men's title, like, who's gonna beat Theory? Then you
United
got
States.
all the rumors about him and what's his face? Cena. Spot Monkey Tez.
Oh, come on.
Killed it. What you
You're
saw for? God damn, you slurping?
not feeling him, not
Yeah,
feeling
Calling a black man a monkey and Black History Month.
Whatever, he be all right. He got money. You know,
he said he got money. He all right. Tell me about it, brother.
It is what it is. That's what he was.
Why were you not impressed with Montez Ford in this particular match?
I didn't say I wasn't.
Okay, well, tell me, help us understand what were you? Because it seems to me, help me, like, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you're telling me like this was flat because it was kind of predictable. It wasn't bad.
No,
but you were like,
yeah, it just was. It was what it was. It was what it was supposed to be. It wasn't nothing spectacular to me.
What would have made it spectacular to you? What was it missing? Like you get a sandwich, right? And you bite into, like, bro, this is missing something, man. I need mayonnaise, I need mustard, I need onions or something. Like, that flavor. Like, I got like
vinegar, yeah.
Like when they said you can get a corned beef sandwich, right? And you say, okay, I want this corned beef or pastrami sandwich, and then you bite into, like, bro, it's still missing something, right? It's like, what to expect, but there's still something you could probably add to it to make it better, to kind of satisfy what you were going for when you originally had it in your mind. This is what I wanted to eat in this moment. So tell me about this chamber match that will make it, what were you looking for that would have made it better for you?
It was just too predictable.
Okay, fair.
Like, you just being a fan and knowing the product and seeing what type of matches usually go on, it's like you kind of could tell everything that was going to happen. You're going to have your high flying spots. Of course, somebody's going to get slammed through the little what is it called? Glass chamber.
The plexiglass.
Yeah, chamber, like,
that's always fun. It's going to happen every year.
You kind of knew that Bronson Reed was going to come in there and dominate because he's a big dude. And Austin Theory at the end, he was going to find some way to overcome everything and win. So it was just kind of just too predictable to me. Maybe I'm just being too much right now. But yeah, like, overall, like I said, I'm not going in on anybody's performance. I just thought it was just predictable to me.
It's a little predictable.
Yeah, like Montez, he did a great job, bro. Like, he stole the show. He was the highlight of the show, honestly.
Okay.
Or at least of the match, What else happened? Brock Lesnar and Bobby.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
It was all right. It was cool because I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see it now. I want to see it at WrestleMania.
Well, I think that's kind of what they did. They gave you like the forward to the book, but they didn't let you get into chapter 1 just quite yet.
Yeah. So that's why I'm gonna shut my mouth about it and let it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Let it sizzle a little bit.
Let it sizzle.
Okay.
But other than that, the ending, I said what I said. Like, it was great.
Because
it was great, but I was expecting something to hit me hard and make me, like, literally just like come to tears.
We're gonna get. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you good?
No, because that's kind of what we're going to dive into, right? Because that kind of ties into kind of the main event of the show. So it's like,
shout out to the homie Sean Ambrose jumping in. Charm City O's 9482. He asked me a question on Twitter. I told him to tune in. I give him an answer soon.
Oh, nice. Okay. Do you need to address it now?
We going into it.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We transitioning. So I enjoyed the chamber. I had fun. The expectations of it wasn't that high. Like, I had to start doing it as I got older. Like,
Maybe
to me, like these are showcases. Like they're not meant to. Like Mania is supposed to set the tone for my wrestling for the year or for the next at least 2 months, maybe before things really shift. Like Mania is an important pay-per-view. Rumble's an important pay-per-view. Elimination Chamber is just supposed to entertain me, and they just give me it just help move the needle along. So my expectations are never really high for these type of pay-per-views, but it's probably one of the best ones that I've seen before a WrestleMania. That that's okay. It did its job. You distract us with the giant gimmick of Elimination Chamber, but you do very minimal, right? So it's a showcase. It's something for fans to enjoy. But we talk about the main event with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns, which was, first of all, Sami Zayn came out to just a phenomenal response, unbelievable. That Montreal crowd was hot for WWE, and I think they kind of set the tone for the future going forward as a legitimate like destination place for WWE to kind of frequent a little more often outside of Toronto, and also outside of just the regular live events, house shows, whatever you want to call it, right? I watched the main event, and a lot of people just it was a natural hush amongst the audience, amongst the crowd when the match kind of ended. Like, we don't have to go into the match. I'm sure you all saw it. You saw the emotions, but Brother Hugh, I kind of agree with you when I say it. I was expecting something. I was expecting Sami Zayn to probably suffer just a little bit more.
Right, like it was good. What they gave me was okay, but I just a little extra seasoning to it.
I was waiting for some more sympathy, like when you just kind of like. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember of a situation or something that I can compare it to, where we saw somebody just get beat and beat and beat, and they just wouldn't give up, and like they were on the verge of like tears. And as the audience,
the first match,
bingo, like that was easy. That's why you gotta have the encyclopedia around. Like we saw, and I think it was difficult because we were transitioning from post-pandemic to live audience, stuff like that, but it was so dramatic, and it's like, man, you really felt for this person that felt like they didn't have much, and you just watched somebody manipulate this person and kind of force them into doing something like it. Like you force them in line, and it's like, man, there's this sympathetic bone that you find yourself having where you just like, man, I can't believe he really just made him do all that. You know what I mean? And then he went along with it. He became the right-hand man. He really just thought, this is for the family. And it's like, nah, your cousin is abusive, man. He's like, it is a realism to it. It's a history. Like, yo, you've been doing this since we was kids. They grew up as brothers. You know what I mean? Like there's always that piece of everything, and it's like it caused us to look at Jay, because Jey Uso was the flat Uso. He's the one that had no personality. Jimmy was the one that's always dancing and pop locking and all this other stuff. And
which one are you?
Yeah, like he was, and Jay surpassed anything because just the depth of where he went as a performer. You know what I mean? He showed his range beyond, and we were like, man, we hope Jimmy don't get lost to the sauce, because who the heck is he when he comes back? Yeah. I don't think I saw that from Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. Like I did, but I was expecting just a little more suffering. But Brian, you kind of.
No, I'm just agreeing because I'm agreeing with you. I felt the same way.
Okay, so it's because I'm like, because it abruptly ended, and I was like, wait a minute, like, who got beat down really bad with that chair? Like, who was the match before?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. We'll say Kevin Owens, right? There was a sympathy factor there because they were like, he didn't have a chance. Like, he was tied up on ropes. He couldn't win. He was just getting beat battered. It was like, nah, you're not. You're like, come on, man. Like, just let him up. And Sammy kind of had that same sympathy because it's like, dude, he's done. Leave him alone. Like, you know what I mean? There was that piece of suffering that I was expecting to see that I didn't see from Roman. I mean, that I didn't see from just that match in particular. The match was great. It did its job. But I was like, dang, I owe Brother Hugh an apology because I swore he was going to cry. I said, brother, he's going to cry when this happens. Like, he's going to get him to break. But I was like, well, dang, they didn't give me enough to make him cry. Like, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
No,
so
I just like 100% agree.
Yeah, so it's like I was expecting to see him just suffer a little bit more. Like I don't know if it was blood, I don't know if it was just a beat down, like he didn't know where he was and he just wouldn't give up. There's always this feeling was like somebody like they just won't give up, and they don't stand a chance. But it's just like something that you just naturally get behind, and that's what was missing. But
man, when I saw his family there, I was like, oh yeah, we in for something.
Yeah, like I wanted to see somebody cry. I wanted to see her cry or something like, please stop, leave my husband alone. We saw it with
Mankind.
Not Mankind. We saw if you look back, let's Survivor Series when it was when not Survivor Series, excuse me. Yeah, Survivor Series, was it? When Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart for the
oh my gosh,
for the WWF Championship, right? And
hated him.
And we saw Bob Backlund get the best of Bret Hart, and we saw everybody emotional about it, right? It's because we saw his parents that were sitting at one point somehow like ringside, and then you see Bret suffer like he's in his chicken wing. First of all, he's just psychopath, and Bob Backlund, and you just see Bret Hart just like fading, and he's fighting back, and the more he's fading, the crazier that chicken wing gets. And then after a while, Owen looks at him and starts he starts crying like, that's my brother. What have I done? And he's on his knees begging his mother, like, please throw in the towel. And Davey Boy's like, no, we're not doing it. You know what I mean? And then like his mother's looking at him like she's watching her babies. She's watching the spoiled baby in Owen, like on his knees crying like, Ma, I made a mistake. Please, I don't want my brother to suffer. And she's looking at her baby in the ring, getting tore up, nowhere to go. And Stu Hart's trying to stop her, like, Helen, don't fall for that. He's fine. And as a mother, this is just natural drama that's there. And you're just looking at the audience with your hand on your mouth, like, bro, this has got to stop because you felt something. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, man. And eventually, of course, she snatches the towel, she throws it in. You know, Owen pushes Bulldog into the stairs. This is great storytelling back in the day.
Yeah,
pushes Bulldog. Bulldog is out. Stu's trying to stop Helen, and she throws it in. Screw it. She just and then she's like so distraught at the end, like she doesn't know what to do. She's just like, and Stu's just trying to comfort her. He just looks disgusted, and Owen runs off laughing with the towel in his hands, and he's just like, I mean, that's true, and he's just laughing. You know what I mean? And it's just like, man, and then of course when you watch it back, how they kind of dramatized it. Like if you watch it on the tape, they like it's so black and white and slow motion and all these things. It's like those are the moments that I felt like I was waiting for from his family. Like I wanted to see Roman Reigns like bust Sami Zayn's face open in front of his wife, and Sami Zayn looked like he didn't know where he was at. Like Mick Foley's another one that did a really good job of it. You know what I mean? Where Mick Foley was like he was dead. Like like every time think about it. You know, Mick Foley was good at that. Montez did a really good job of it in the chamber. He looked like he was dead. Like something was really wrong with him. Be like, man, I think they went too far. You know what I mean? And
he was chilling.
Yeah, we didn't get that. They didn't quite go that far, and that's okay because, like I said, at the end of the day, they got what they needed to get out of it, right?
And you hit it right on the head because when you look back, I was waiting for that too, and Brandon brings up a lot of great points in the chat. So you know, one of
the guy's on fire. By the way,
he is. If you would have had Sam, if you would have had him cry, you would have wanted that redemption story, and we can't have that before Mania.
And that's the honest to God truth.
It's the truth, he said, because you remember how Kofi Mania began. And this is what I said. Yeah, this is where, and I haven't been one on the two titles, but this is one where you would have needed the two titles. You feel me? Just so that Roman can focus on Sammy, and then you can have Cody focus on. I'm putting Seth Rollins in because to me, I don't see anybody else. But I was waiting for that. And you know what? It would have been an easy fix, right?
Yeah.
Even if Sammy would have been beaten within an inch, right? And then Kevin Owens comes to save the day, but then Kevin Owens walks out and doesn't help Sammy, and then you wonder what happens on Raw.
Yeah, and to your point, Brian H, that's what we've been getting from Triple H. That's what we experienced at the Rumble. He is not just doing stuff to entertain the fans in these moments. He is cognitively pushing these storylines forward for the bigger picture. He's like, nope, I know you could have had this, but I'm not giving this to you now because I got something even better in store. And it's like, man, he won't give us those moments. Vince used to give us those moments because it's for the, like I said, he's the carny guy. Like, nope, just the greatest show on earth. As long as we entertain the fans and we get the biggest highlight, the biggest pop, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Yep. And Triple H is not giving us those hot shot moments. AEW does it all the time. I call it indie booking, where it's like you just give the fans whatever they want in the moment, and then you give the fans what they want. Then now they want a new moment, and you're like, well, now we got to create a new one, and you don't have anything to give because you gave everything already.
Yep.
And And I just like you look at it, you say, man, to brother Brandon's point, it's like, man, I guess you can't have that because, like I said, you want him to get his redemption, and like you said, how do you incorporate Kevin Owens into that storyline? Because that, like I said, as we in the main event of the show, Sami Zayn seems to have a change of heart, right? And I know a few weeks ago we had a conversation like, can you do business with a rival? You know, even after you have bad blood, can you put that aside to tell your story as a way to make money? I think one of the most crucial ones we left off that show that week, which I thought was really good, was like Eric Bischoff and Ric Flair. Oof.
Oh,
Like,
that's wow.
That's I don't know how we forgot that one. That's on me. That's when I like, it was the following week. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't talk about Eric Bischoff, and I didn't find out till later on how real that situation was. Ric Flair, no, like I really was working for the company. Then they sued me like for $2 million for breach of contract when he went to go to Reed's wrestling match because he was legit beefing with Eric Bischoff but Jim Cornette said, you know, even in the money that was the original DVD, said, yeah, because whenever WCW had nothing to do, just go back to Ric Flair. It was a cheap pop. They would use him, and then once they got fans' attention again, they would bury him and put him back on the shelf. And that tore Ric Flair to shreds. Like we saw that in later years because Ric Flair lost himself. You know what I mean? And I present this question to you guys today is, okay, well, Sami Zayn has a change of heart, and Kevin Owens is not biting. Like at this point, here's what we expected: flat-minded wrestling fans. Okay, cool. Well, Kevin Owens came to save him. They're best friends anyway. We know that, smart marks. Now they're gonna team up and take down the Usos. But like Troy's like, nah, that's too easy. We're not doing that. That's the obvious thing to do. Kevin Owens comes out and goes, listen, man, this had nothing to do with you, bro. I have, this is about me and Roman. This is about your family. Like I couldn't let your family be embarrassed for what he did. I'm like, God, I don't want to deal with you, bro. Like I didn't forget nothing. This has nothing. This is about Roman, not you. And I'm like, wow, because now we got a whole nother story to tell, bro. We don't got that much time until we get to Mania. Like it's late February. We're going into March. And now I'm like, now Sami Zayn has to sit there and convince Kevin Owens to be his friend again because he knows I underestimate the situation. I can't take them down by myself. I need help. And he's the only person that's crazy enough for me. Like he's been struggling on his own. I'm struggling on my own. We got to do this together. So now they're going to spend the next month and a half rebuilding this relationship between these two and watch how the drama unfolds. Mind you, I'm gonna tell you how freaking smart Triple H is. Now you don't got to sit there and worry about what the heck you're gonna do with Roman for the next month and a half. It's because people are gonna be so focused on freaking the redemption story of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Like that's your main event filler till Mania. So that way you can preserve your champion, and then you can let him tell his side of the story. I don't understand how in the world we got to a place where the top guys in the feud, he's in a storyline by himself. Like we know the wrestling part. Cody Rhodes wants a piece of your behind. He's got a date with you at WrestleMania. You had an issue with Sami Zayn because of this whole bloodline stuff that ended. What are you gonna do from now to Mania? Roman Reigns got to repair his family. It's because Jey Uso got speared by Sami Zayn. So what the heck you think Roman Reigns going to do for the next month and a half? He's going to sit there and say, I got to put this group back together because that's when we are our strongest. I got paranoid and broke it up in the first place. What you think he going to tell the Jey Uso? See, didn't I tell you he wasn't loyal to you? Your man spared you. I'm your cousin. I'm your blood. I got your back. I'm the one that protected you. What happened to the guy that you trusted? He spared you. So once again, we back to the manipulation. And Jey Uso's going to be like, I feel you. But at the same time, though, I know what you did. So he's still conflicted. He told his brother, I'm loyal to you. We family. So that's going to always play a part at the end of the day, right? And I'm just like, what in the world is WWE doing that we like our minds are so torn and pulled in so many different directions? Because now you got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. You got to tell that story. You got to think about the bloodline and where they're going. You got to tell that story. Not to mention Cody Rhodes having issues with Paul Heyman personally, is because it seems like Cody Rhodes can't even get to Roman Reigns because he keeps having these verbal jabs with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's going beneath the belt, and then you got people taking shots at Cody Rhodes like Baron Corbin and all these other dumb people, and I'm like, so this is how you guys are going to fill time until the big dance? Because you say, how do you keep your top people from touching each other, but you still got to draw TV every week? Yeah, and it's like there's so many stories to be told. And I'm just like, man, I don't know if Kevin Owens should budge because everybody wants to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn become best friends again, and then finally go and take down the Usos. But Jey Uso has to go back to hating Sami Zayn again, which I think he will, is because Roman's going to tell him, bro, he spared you. That's supposed to be your guy. You said you believed in him, and what did he do? He spared you. right? Sami Zayn's backed himself into some type of corner. And I'm not really sure Kevin Owens is going to trust him to be out, because you know why? Because if this was Kevin Owens would have been turned on Sami Zayn. He's evil and he knows it. Do you trust Kevin Owens in a situation? Would you trust a Sami Zayn in a situation?
No.
What? Okay, let me ask you this: what if you guys have a common goal?
That's the thing. So you trust in the goal, but what's to say they beat the bloodline and then boom, clothesline, just like before, pop up powerbomb.
I don't trust Kevin Owens. I see Kevin Owens turn.
Exactly.
I don't. I'm telling you, I don't trust. I don't trust.
Times, bro.
I don't trust Kevin Owens. I see Kevin Owens turn on Sami Zayn any day, but Kevin Owens has never turned on Sami Zayn for no reason. There's always a reason. He loved Sami Zayn, but then when Sami Zayn got the NXT title, he immediately became his enemy. He said, "Well, it's nothing personal against you, Sami. I want that title, so that means I have to hate you now." Yeah. Dang, Kevin Owens. Like, that's what we doing? Like, that's what he thinks. That's what Kevin Owens really is. Like, bro, when it comes to this and my family, I'm choosing my family. So therefore, I have to turn on you. Like, we were just friends, but now you have something I want. I can't be your friend anymore.
Yeah.
They got a common goal, though. Take it down the Usos, win the tag team champions.
But he owe him a get back from Survivor Series.
See, that's why I don't trust him.
He owe him to get back. Like you said, it's always a reason, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, I took down the bloodline because I hate them, but I ain't forget that you kicked me and you sided with them.
And then you sat there and watched me get beat.
But technically, he also stopped Roman from beating him.
Again,
that doesn't mean anything. He still sat there and watched him get beat.
Tell me why it doesn't, brother Hugh. I mean, that since it doesn't mean anything, but tell me why. Like, it don't count for anything.
I mean, I feel like in the mind state that KO is in right now, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, do tell.
Like, because all you're thinking about is, all right, look, you did what you did at Survivor Series, and then you didn't help me out when I needed you. Like, I shouldn't have taken that vicious beating to the point where I was knocked out.
Yeah.
You know, humiliated in front of everybody.
He was humiliated. It got him real bad.
Yeah. So it's like, you weren't there for me. As many times I done came out and did this and did that and took out the bloodline by myself and was trying to talk sense into you, and you didn't listen to me, and you allowed me to get beat like that.
Okay.
That's why he came out literally like 2 seconds after whatever happened.
He definitely came out late.
After the conclusion of the match.
And nobody understood what took him so long until after the fact, when he's like, "Oh, I didn't come out to save you. I came out because of Roman. That wasn't nothing to do with you." I was like, "Oh,
he did that on purpose."
You're still clearly upset.
Yes.
Yeah.
He could have easily came out 2 minutes earlier, stopped whatever was going on, and made a difference in the matchup.
Okay.
And you probably would have had Sami Zayn as champion.
Okay. All right.
But no, he waited.
Well, let's make it personal. This is hot seat time. You and Bryan Danielson know each other since you guys were 9 years old, right? There's a history there, correct? Y'all are grown men.
11
years old. Excuse me. Y'all are grown men now. Bryan Danielson turns on you because he's joined Wrestling Media Click, and they kind of foxed you out a little bit, right?
Fox
kind of foxed you out a little bit. See what I did there?
Yeah, it's did.
You know, similar situation, and you tell Bryan, it's like, bro, they using you, man. Like they know you know how to do everything. They know you are good at this and good at that. You're not really part of the group. They kind of use you. And Bryan is like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been down my whole life. I've been made fun of for wrestling. I'm finally where I need to be at. You a hater. I ain't bang with you no more, whatever the case may be, right? And then somebody comes for you from Wrestling Media Click, and Bryan is like, all right, man, chill. Like, all right, y'all got him. Chill, relax. Now, y'all got all this history now. Y'all know each other since 11 years old. You know, Bryan Danielson finds out Wrestling Media Click was bluffing. They did him dirty. They was talking crazy about him. Whatever the case may be, he's out. And now he's like, brother Hugh, let's go back to doing what we do, man. Like, we've been doing this since we was kids. That's the same thing we can do now. We're gonna take down Wrestling Media Click. And are you gonna look at Bryan and say, like, nah, bro? Because you left me hanging. Let's be real. Like, that's your man's now, right? Forgiveness is a thing. Y'all are brothers. Like, brothers fight. Brothers don't always get along, you know, but family is family. And that's the relationship that we talking about between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Would you say, nah, Brian, you gonna throw away all that time of friendship and family and brotherhood over, honestly, probably a lapse in judgment?
I don't know how many times I gotta say it before y'all listen to me. First of all, I do not like this stuff.
As soon as he said, first of all, I need to say, I knew it was coming. I knew what he was going to say.
But I feel like I set myself up. You.
He was
love you.
Telling
so
you,
much.
how many times I keep telling y'all this? I said I knew it. I was trying to like I was trying to lay it on like Jiffy peanut butter, and it was like, nope.
He took the bread off real quick. Took the top of the bread and threw it like out of here.
But
the realness. He prepared that. He prepared that dissertation, and you ruined it.
Because you ruined it, damn it.
No, but I wouldn't know because that's just not who I am.
Hold on, you wouldn't what? Clarify. What wouldn't you do?
I wouldn't toss him to the side because if he decided to make that decision, it's on him. All I can say is, look, he is his own man, and I told you.
He comes back. He says, "Bro, I'm sorry, man. Lapse of judgment. It's on me. It is what it is. I get it. Let's take them down." Because Kevin Owens is saying no. First of all, Kevin Owens has been forgiven by Sami Zayn on more than one occasion. Mm-hmm. Like we gotta always constantly bring out, like, bro, you turned on him more times than he turned on you.
Exactly.
Like I still remember vividly the package power driver at the top of all them ladders. In Ring of Honor, I believe was it Ladder Wars? I guess it was.
Yeah.
And I think they just debuted the new belt, like it was the new Ring of Honor title, and I think that was El Generico's send off.
It was.
That's the same guy that you ever noticed he never came to TV. He was always at pay-per-views, but never at TV. We never saw Generico in person. Never. But
they didn't want to pay him.
No, they didn't. Yeah, I think because that travel.
Oh, but, you're right.
Because when he showed up at a pay-per-view, and I remember
it was always at pay-per-views.
It was on Twitter when it was like, KO opened the box,
and
it was like, oh shoot,
yeah, it was Generico stuff.
First of all, let's get this right. I'm gonna be the head of the table in the wrestling clip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. I'm not saying you wouldn't be.
No,
but what if your cousins turn on you? I'm just saying, the Usos, you never know. What about you, Brian Nature? I pose the same question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Same situation. Y'all brothers. Because Brother Hugh has lapse in judgment. They came and tickled his fancy, made him feel like he was the man. You know what I mean? Same thing. And you like, dang, all these years you flipping on me. And then he comes back and says, all right, look, man, it was on me. I messed up.
Dang, I've been through that situation.
I mean, this is a real life situation, right?
Everything.
And now he's coming like, look, man.
Sometimes I wonder, am I 36 or 63?
Listen, life would do that to you, brother. Life would do that to you.
Well, what did I do the last time? I did the forgiving part, the little forgiving gimmick.
See, okay, so
but
what
it wasn't the same.
And that may be true, but you're telling me that Kevin Owens should forgive Sami Zayn and they should take down the bloodline.
No, he shouldn't, because nobody should take down the bloodline. They need to everybody just need to fall in order.
See, look, there we go. He's biased. We got a bias with
he really should though. Because again, what you said, all the times he turned on him, like, bro, that's what I need Sammy to not be pitiful and remind him.
I think I was about to say, don't just think he's like, look, man,
right.
listen.
You got it
on me. And
right,
that's when we're gonna cry.
Yes.
That's when we're going to finally cry, when he does that, and that's going to be the tears that make you want to see them two come together and take out the Usos.
What was the first thing I said when what happened? Was it Elimination Chamber? Or was it? I can't remember what it was, but the first thing I put in the text, I said, look, there was no embrace. There was no words.
It was awkward, wasn't it?
It was like literally.
We thought that was going to be the Kumbaya moment, but it was kind of like.
Yeah, it was literally like a dirty look from KO, and he just walked off. I was like, that's weird to me.
Like, you still mad, or what we doing?
Again, right? That's the problem. Like, that's why we feel weird about the finish, right? Because even in that moment, if they would have hugged, it would have been a big Kumbaya, and everybody would have been happy.
That would have been the payoff.
It would pay off. But if they didn't, if he would have just mushed him, just something that simple, or just mushed him, but he just like left him, even if it was like a handshake, and he's like, because it's got to be KO. If he just smacked, like, get out of here, and kept it moving, it would have been fine. But that was the problem. At the end of the day, it was just a little bit too many moments.
And I think it was all to be continued moments at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like they purposely didn't give us these moments because no, just keep hanging on. We're not done with this shit.
Right.
You know
it makes sense. It makes sense.
And it's cool because it's the Elimination Chamber. It's not WrestleMania. Like, don't go into AJ Styles and start new stories at Mania. Don't work, brother.
I think that was the thing. And I think that's the biggest thing. But I think only time will tell. I think it's kind of obvious that at some point, even if they're not 100% on the same page, that common enemy is enough to be like, nah, we gotta take this down. So like, so you, brother, you say you don't like Bryan Danielson. I get that. You don't like him. Is there a common enemy that you say, look, man, I need Bryan's help. We gotta take them down.
WrestleMania 28.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than that, we're cool with everybody else. Like,
let's go back to the Cleveland.
Hey, man.
All the inside stuff. It's okay, but
it's coming.
It's coming.
No, that's gonna be a doozy. I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be. I don't have the whole story myself. I think I do, but I think I don't. So, but it's like I don't know.
We're gonna go into deep detail about this one. I can tell all the story now. Oops.
I'm glad like my eyes a little jacked up, so like you can't see my face because I'm just like, oh boy, this should be an interesting one.
Oh, it is.
But yeah, if you want to hear that story, subscribe to our patreon.com/wrestling_realm.
Shout out to the subscribers. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Subscriptions are going up. Join the group. We're not asking you to subscribe for a lot, but just come take a look at our content if you enjoy what we do. As you continue to subscribe and get down what we do, we will continue to add certain things. We have a lot on the books to come. We have a lot that we're working on. I think this is going to be a really, really good spring and summer for the wrestling realm in regards to just continue to build the brand and take things to the next level. Every couple of years, we have let's like a next level moment. And I remember last couple of maybe probably a little bit over 2 or 3 years ago.
This WrestlingRealm.com.
WrestlingRealm.com. We had similar moments. We were like, this is next thing. So we have a lot to do. Like by the time we're done, you're not even on a record. Look, brother, you saying stuff. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. It was a TV.
Okay, because you're looking over your shoulder like on some real Baltimore stuff. Like, hold up, bro. Like, you good? Like, hold up.
Nah, I'm good.
But one thing I do want to address is the question that brought Charm City O's 9482 here, and we appreciate you coming on the Wrestling Realm. He basically asked me, is Roman Reigns' title run too long? 900 days.
Nope.
And especially in the television.
He said nope.
And that's exactly how I feel. I want to see it go 1,000. I am loving this. I know it's weekly television every week, but this is something different. And he's been able to, there's been so many stories within stories. And I got another question for y'all after this. But yeah, so I don't think it's too long. And I love it. How about y'all?
I got no beef with it. I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? I'm nervous now because it's like, well, shoot, now what do you do with WrestleMania? Because it's like, well, dang, you kind of want to see it go 1,000 days.
He got to win again.
Yeah, but it's like, this is the Cody era is knocking.
It can hold on.
I don't think it can, but like, who knows? I don't know. I have no problem with it. I'm enjoying it. It's you only get, these are once in a lifetime opportunities to have a talent of the likes of Roman Reigns.
Once in a lifetime WrestleMania.
Okay, I hope it's not WrestleMania 9.
28.
Okay.
Yeah.
Undertaker just beat Shawn. I mean, Triple H.
There you go. Just WrestleMania 28 stuff.
It was an amazing match, bro.
WrestleMania 28 stuff. There we go.
You talking about chills? Oh my gosh.
That's right. You guys were there in person.
Dum.
But I'm okay with it, man. Like I said, this is once in a lifetime. You don't get a chance that you have a superstar of the likes of Roman Reigns that can pull this off. You know what I mean? And a story to keep people interested for all that time, because it's an ever evolving story. You know what I mean? So it's rare. You got to take full advantage of these moments. What about you, brother Hugh? You okay with it?
I'm cool with it, man.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is awesome, bro. Like just his acting in general, his facial expressions.
Yeah, the psychology of it all, because he didn't. He didn't do all those things before. So
he didn't.
It's refreshing.
He tells the story. Like there's been plenty of part-time champions like Brock Lesnar, this and that, whatever. He go and then he come back and then he kills somebody and then he go back and do whatever he was doing. But like it wasn't the same. It was just like, all right. Brock Lesnar's coming back. Okay, whoop-de-doo. We know what's going to happen. Roman comes back. I'm glued to the TV like, okay, so what type of story he about to tell this time?
What he gonna tell you, huh? What he gonna talk to you? What Joe gonna tell you?
Hey.
Yeah, Joe.
Right. Big Papa Joe. Like, hey, Elimination Chamber, he got me when he came out and started talking to Sammy's wife, like, hey, what's up?
He had a full-blown conversation with her on the sideline.
Right,
like,
talking smack while you beating this man. What's up? How you doing? Big smiling.
He said we could have been family. We supposed to be family. That was all.
I'm doing this for you.
I said, how you going to go say that?
On your plate.
Yeah, he's disrespectful. We supposed to be family. Roman is really good, man. I never thought I'd say that.
Like, speaking of Roman, good old Jay Bougie text me. Said he wanted me to bring this up on all the pods.
Sure.
So he texted me Sunday night, midnight. I'm like, wake up, like, okay. He said, when Roman finally loses, he feel it'll be bigger than Brock Lesnar taking down Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak.
Oh yeah, it's going to be huge. I'm not trying to say, like, I don't want to compare the two, but it's going to be massive. I think it's going to be just as big as him winning. Like for him to have held it for as long as he did, him losing, I can't imagine what Reigns is going to be on, what type of tape he's going to be on, him losing the titles.
Does it depend on who he loses it to?
I don't think it even matters at this point. For him to have it 900 days, and by the time Mania is going to be, it's going to be like 900, I don't know what, 30 days, whatever it's supposed to be, or 932 days. And for him to lose, he is going to, like, you think Roman Reigns is bad now. I want to see, like, how bad can Roman Reigns really get? Like, how maniacal, how much more of a villain can he be? Is because he is going to be on a tirade trying to get that title back. Like, I expect death and destruction all over the place, because I'm like, he's not going to stop at anything until he gets those titles back. Like, I see him beating up people. I see him just tearing up the show. I see him just being completely disruptive until he gets what he wants. Like, and he gonna have his goons in tow. And Adam Pearce is like, man, we have no choice but to give this man what he wants, because he is going to make our lives a living hell if we don't. Like, he's interrupting matches. He's cutting people off. Like, I see Roman doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Just showing the power of the bloodline without the title. Maybe people are gonna be like, dude, what is Roman gonna do next this week? Like we saw. I say that because we saw a hint of it, right? Yep. Baron Corbin was in the mid promo, and Cody Rhodes came out, and he's like, and I'm like, that's something that seemed like it was a mistake, but I'm like, no, that was on purpose. And then he came back to like, okay, now that I'm done being interrupted, like, I see that going on. I see WCW do it a lot, where they will have a match going on and somebody come out, beat them up, and be like, nope, what I'm about to say is more important than this match that you guys are watching right now. And I'm just like, you know, that was kind of the spontaneity of WCW is what made it very raw and very fun, is because you would have stuff like that, like Macho Man or Dallas Page, somebody coming out in the middle of somebody else's match, throwing them out the ring just to be like, nah, that's dead. Macho Man come out, hey, I got beef with you. And I'm just like, oh crap. Like, just the spontaneity of those moments made it live TV fun. You know what I mean? I see Roman in the bloodline doing, like, imagine Roman Reigns loses Monday after Raw. They like, Roman Reigns is going to be here. Like, he's pissed. He lost titles. I see him coming to Raw. I see him beating up like, he's gonna get out that truck and just start beating everybody up. I'm talking metal poles, metal bats in hands, and they're gonna just, where's Adam Pearce, where's Triple H, where's whatever. And then if somebody says, I don't know, I see them getting jumped. Handle him. Boom. Like, I just see just destruction. And Adam Pearson gonna be like, bro, we have no choice. Like, Reigns, you about to get suspended. Nah, suspend this and just start beating out. You can't suspend me. I'm a tribal chief. Where like you know why I'm around here? You can't afford to suspend me. I am this show. And Adam Pearson's like, God dang, I'm a business. I got people I have to respond to. They're telling me to fix it. And I'm like, I want to suspend it. It happened with Bobby Lashley already. Bobby Lashley, you're fired. He's like, he had to go double back. All right, listen, due to further examinations, we couldn't fire Bobby Lashley. That's their way.
I was just playing.
That was their way of saying he's too valuable. Like that's how you tell the world this person is a superstar. Because he literally said, due to circumstances beyond my control, he's not fired. He's suspended. That's the most we can do. It's because you're saying you can't afford not to have this guy on the show. Like you're telling the audience that. And you're like, well, God dang, Bobby Lashley must be a big deal because he couldn't be fired. You're talking Roman Reigns. And you're talking about a disgruntled Roman Reigns who just lost his titles. What is he? I can only imagine. Him losing is going to be just as big as him winning. Or just as big as him holding for so long.
And that's the thing. Everybody's ready to book him to Hollywood, which is cool, but it's going to be a rough road there if that's the way it happens.
Yeah, I don't know, man. His chops are starting to get up there. Like, you know what I mean? Like he looks like an actor at this point. The roles he's doing and the kind of the things that he's.
But yeah, what I mean is like the way, like all the stuff that you just said, like it's gonna be a rough road. Like he's gonna bust a lot of heads on his way out. That's gonna cause him to get suspended so he can go to Hollywood. That's what I mean.
No, it makes sense. It happened. Like all the greats did it, except Austin because he had injuries. Like Hogan did it continually. Hogan did it his whole career, to be honest with you. Rock did it. Cena's doing it now. Oh yeah, I realized I misspoke. The Rock was right. Sometimes you have to evolve. Yeah, I guess so. Because Dave Bautista got out of there. He like, I'm gonna come back to my one match. I'm done now.
Better there than he is in Hollywood. I mean, he's in the ring.
He really. I never knew why he left for the longest time. I just remember not seeing Batista there anymore. And he's like, dude, I was getting paid more to act than I was to wrestle. I'm like, oh, I'd have left too then. Like, because he told him I want to make more money. Like, I'm putting my body in line. We're traveling. There's a cap to it. Like, you know what I mean? You're only going to make for so much. He's like, no, I want to make more money. So, and he's getting more money to act 30 days out of his life than he's getting on the road 320 days a year. Come on now.
Woo, what a show. What a show.
And that's where we can wrap it up. Yeah, go ahead, brother Hugh.
Y'all still don't think that I brought this to the table one time before, just messing around with it.
Here we go. 2 hours.
He just get bored with the titles and be like, "Look, man, I don't even want these, man. I'm above this." After he wins, I'm above this.
I think he would just bury the titles would be completely buried.
Yeah, because it's the richest prize in a sport. Can't do that. I used to love when was it Tony Schiavone used to say that? The richest prize in our sport, ladies and gentlemen.
He says that now about the AEW championship.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's supposed to.
Yeah.
But Tony Khan exposed that he was watching SmackDown the other night.
Dummy. Dummy. I'll just tell people that. Like, of course you watch the SmackDown.
I was sitting there give credit to Blake because we was riding, and he's like, everybody talking back and forth, but anybody going to catch the fact that he just admitted he watched the SmackDown? He got Earl Hawani going back and forth. I'm like, bro.
Messy. Oh, Tony.
Snowman.
So Tony.
Why that man always look like he's lost, bro?
Because he's got so much money. He doesn't care because he's got so much money. He's got a lot of it.
Everything.
It doesn't matter what he said. I've got money and I've got a lot of it. So it doesn't matter. Like, all right, oh, billionaire Ted, chill out. You got it. You're right. Now buy me a car. Let me hold something.
If I was him, I'd go by trillionaire Tony.
I mean, he got.
Hey, Roger, we're not doing that.
Nah, see, I'm not even looking at the comments. He probably said something crazy out of his mouth.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
I ain't disrespecting my colleague.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And shout out to Corbin. He finding his swag, man.
You think so?
He's doing great. Nah, bro.
I don't know what this is coming out of left field. I want to hear this. Yeah, you sleepy, bro?
I'm not Brian Waters.
Go ahead, come on, talk to your boys.
It's starting now.
You put an
bro.
H on there.
What? I'm thinking about you.
Anyway, put an H on there.
Nah, go ahead. I want to hear this about Baron Corbin.
Bro, like
he called him Brian H. Walters.
Nah, man, like he's just in the perfect place at the perfect time. Like he's filling his gaps. Like he came out, did the whole spill with who was it this weekend? I mean this week.
It was
it Sammy? It was Sammy.
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 He's trying to get the rub, trying to wrestle, jobbing out to the main event guys.
He been talking his mess. Oh, I'm the last person to beat Roman. This and that, whatever. As long as he get rid of that gear,
3 years ago.
Hey, it don't matter though. That's the only thing that keeps him relevant. And
you're absolutely right, Joe.
As a top heel,
you're
which
absolutely
he
right.
is. Who's going to argue with me that he's not the top, like one of the top heels of the business in WWE?
I don't know, man.
He's the top heel. Go away, Heat.
Yeah, that's a debate show right there, bro. I mean,
So,
I hear you.
You starting to sound like Banks, yo. You starting to sound like Banks. Y'all love some Baron Corbin.
Banks love Baron Corbin. I don't know why.
They do. Him and Britt Waters and Blake. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all?
I just think he has something, man. Like he has a lot of potential.
Yo, JBL gave up on him, bro.
He just got to find a way to put it together.
And that I do agree with. I think he has a lot there, but like I say, he hadn't really figured it out yet. But you know, I'm sure he will as we go into Mania season. I'm not sure they're gonna have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but I'm sure he'll have his place in it. But yeah, man, we're gonna wrap this up, man. Once again, great conversation as usual.
Heck yeah.
We had to this I'm trying to add more hard-hitting content to these type of shows. You know what I mean? So we can we're trying to put that out there. We're just trying to like let's go a little bit deeper than what you like, what you don't like. You know what I mean? But so we continue on the road to WrestleMania. I don't think we have any more stops here, gentlemen. We are there. Bryan Danielson will be there in the building.
I will be bookings up. I just gotta give a shout out to the honorary Wrealm member too, Lynn.
Yes, indeed. I was
just on the show last week. I don't know if you got a chance. I know he said he's been trying to get you back.
I am finally gonna. I'm gonna be on it tomorrow. We'll be recording tomorrow. I don't know when it's that show, but I'll finally get a chance to. Like I'm talking. It's been like months. We've been
I know.
We just been missing each other in the wind. But I told him, look, man, I'm free Thursday. Like, what do you want to do? And he doesn't mind going late. So he's like, he prefers it. I'm like, okay, even better.
Thursday. You know, we got the show down the street and around the corner.
You sound like WCW and WWF guys crossing the street back in the day. Like, so you heading over? Yeah, I'm going over too. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm going over. You go to Vince? Okay, well, I'm going to turn. I'll see you.
No, we do. A&B Sports called us, Ashley Baker, for the annual show. I said we come with company this year.
When is that show?
She ain't give me the full date, or maybe she did, but I gotta confirm it.
Okay,
but this before Mania. She was like, "Oh, we could do the Thursday before Mania." I said, "Ashley,
no,
that's Wale Mania. I won't be there. I'll be working." Shout out if y'all ain't get y'all tickets for Wale Mania. So
use that promo.
I did, but I'll be on Backstage Brawl. That's gonna air the beginning of March, so make sure y'all check that out.
Okay,
the brothers over there, and it's another bookings. They're coming through, so.
Yeah, so it's WrestleMania season, so I wouldn't expect anything less. I'm sure there's going to be more to come down the pipeline. Who knows? Reynolds Reacts may be up before then. You never know.
Yeah,
but trust me, when it's up because you're gonna see quite a few clips.
And it's stuck, and it's up, and it's stuck, and oh yeah,
you're gonna see.
That's how you doing now.
Nah, it's cool. I was just letting him do his thing. I was like, hey man, he got it. Go ahead, go on. You know, but
I'm hungry. I'll let you close the show.
Nah, it's okay. Brad needs to get something to eat. But like I said, gentlemen, great show.
I wish I would have sent you that video.
Can enemies work together for a common cause? We are going to find out.
We do
one way or another. Like you said, you guys work together great on the show every week. So there you go. I think that's about the common cause. Wrestling Wrealm.
Yeah.
But with that being so. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Stone Cold Stunner.